Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva and I am a millennial who works in corporate America but is absolutely obsessed with all things beauty. In today's video, we are going to be going over my recommendations for the Spring 2025 Sephora VIB sale. Now, the sale does start on April 4th for Rouge members, and then it is tiered out from there. I will have the information either on the screen or linked down below. I have a lot to cover, so I will have everything timestamped, so if you would like to skip around to certain sections, please feel free to do so. I will be starting off with some tips for this sale because I do think the way that you shop the spring sale should be different than the way you shop the fall sale. Also, before we get into those tips, I just have to acknowledge that my hair basically looks like Blake Lively in It Ends With Us. And that is an insult to myself. I don't know what I was trying to do, but I went down a path and it was too late to reverse. So I had to acknowledge the Blake Lively hair of it all. I do have a little notebook where I wrote down my tips for this particular sale. Okay, my first tip for the summer sale is to shop for the upcoming season. This should be obvious, but I feel like as I'm going through my Sephora cart, realized I was not doing this. So when I go back and do my cart edits before my purchase, I will keep this in mind. So what I mean by shop for the season is we're heading into spring, we're heading into summer. Think about, okay, do I have trips coming up? Am I going to need to purchase miniature sizes of my favorite Sephora products? Will I be using more SPF in the summer than I do the rest of the year? If you're in a very seasonal climate where the climate dramatically changes throughout the year, probably. Also, think about colors. Yes, makeup and shades can be worn year round, but for me personally, I don't wear as many deep dark lips or as many berry tones in the spring and summer. So when I'm going through my cart and making my edits, if it's not limited edition, it's gonna be around during the fall sale. So why have something sitting in my drawers that I'm not gonna use for another 6 months, having it collect dust and potentially, mold and bacteria if I'm not actually gonna use it during the spring or summer? So that's something I would keep in mind. My second tip is remember that the fall sale will have better deals. When Sephora has the fall VIB sale, which is usually the last Friday in October, pretty much all of the holiday releases have come out and there are amazing value sets. So really keep that in mind. I try to think of the spring sale as the time to test different formulas. So by the time the fall sale rolls around, if there is a value set of multiple shades of a product, I already feel confident in the formula. So I think that's something to keep in mind. And also just in general, when you're going through the cart, just remember, better deals are coming in 6-9 months from Sephora. Another tip I have for the spring sale is for fragrance, start with the travel size. I recommend this not only because it just makes sense unless you're totally obsessed with a particular perfume, but particularly in the spring, you're not going to get the really good value sets for perfumes that Sephora has in the fall during that sale. For example, typically in the fall, they will have sets where you get a full size and then a travel size for the same price as the full size. So you're getting a lot of extra product. They also have a lot of amazing Sephora tester kits where you get a bunch of little miniatures and then you get a coupon to redeem for a full size fragrance. And those are typically around $85 plus the 20% off and you get a full size perfume. So I really recommend, unless for some reason you're I need a full size of this, for perfume, stick with the small travel size during the spring. And then if you really love it in the fall sale, get one of those value sets. Another tip or something to remember is Sephora collection is 30% off. So everything from Sephora collection, so Sephora's in-house brand, is going to be 30% off. I will cover a few of my recommendations during the video, but just keep that in mind. There are, whoa, my voice is cracking. There are going to be great deals. They also have a ton of new releases in the Sephora collection lineup. I was looking, it looks like they have a lot of like attempted dupes that I personally am going to be picking up during the sale. So remember, 30% off Sephora collection. Another tip, I say this during every Sephora sale, like focus on brands that usually do not exceed a 20% discount. So think luxury like Dior, Charlotte Tilbury, Prada. Those are brands that typically you're only really going to see around a 15% off, maybe at a Nordstrom. So take advantage of this sale for those brands. I also did write down some brands that I would recommend avoiding during the sale because they consistently have amazing sales year round. So first ones that come to mind that I wrote down, first would be Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath has really great sales where it'll be like 35% off, sometimes 40% off. So as much as I love Pat McGrath products and would recommend them, I don't recommend picking those up during the sale because you're just wasting money. Another brand that I really like that typically has great sales year round is Tarte. Tarte has a lot of products that go on sale for 21 days of beauty. And then just in general, their site will often do like flash, 30%, 40% off sales. Another brand that is very popular during the Sephora sale, but they have amazing sales year round is Makeup Forever. They do, I want to say like a 30% off almost quarterly. So if you can resist, I would try to hold off unless you're just getting one item because then you might not be hitting that shipping minimum on Makeup Forever. Another thing, remember that pretty much nothing during the spring sale is limited edition. Like for me, when I'm going through my list, I'm thinking through like, okay, what am I actually going to use in the next like 6 months before the Sephora sale? And then like, what is limited edition? Nothing right now in my cart is limited edition. So I need to go back and make some edits because remember, fall is when you get all the fun holiday limited edition palettes. And personally, like that is my Super Bowl. So just keep that in mind. Pretty much nothing's limited edition. And then the last thing, this is like so obvious, but I can say that many times I did not do this, is just like set a specific budget, delete from there, kind of work backwards from that budget because it's so easy to get out of control, especially as more and more people start publishing their recommendation videos. It can be daunting. Okay, that is it for the tips. Now let's get into the products. I have my Shop My app open here. I already organized my list and I will have everything that I mentioned linked down below. I will have everything individually linked and I will also link to my Shop My in case, God forbid, there's like a recommendation that I'm just losing sleep over because I forgot to add it. I will add it to my Shop My page so you can always check there to see if I've added any additional last minute recommendations. Okay, we are going to start off with skincare. The first product I'm going to recommend are the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Eye Patches. Okay, when these came out, I kind of like rolled my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, another eye patch? Like we have enough eye patches on this planet. No, we don't. No, we don't. These are the best eye patches and under eye patches, not like, a pirate. These are the best under eye patches I have ever used. First off, they are fragrance free, which I absolutely love. I used these before my friend's wedding a couple weeks ago and it truly was like an iron was pressed under my under eye. Obviously, like not actually, but it really ironed out those wrinkles. Of course, it's a temporary fix and these are like kind of expensive. I think they break down to maybe like $4 a pop. I got them in like I think it comes with maybe 6 for $24, not positive. I have it linked down below, but these are excellent. I highly recommend these. I bought these in a pinch because I forgot to pack my under eye patches and I'm so glad that I randomly picked these up in Sephora last weekend because they are awesome. And when they run out, like I hate to say it, I'm probably gonna buy more because they were that good. Next skincare product that I have really been loving is the Extreme Eye Cream from In Beauty. So In Beauty launched their Extreme Face Cream, I wanna say a year ago, and they recently launched the eye cream. I have been loving this. I have been using it probably for like 6 weeks now, I wanna say. And it wears really beautifully under makeup. I find that a lot of eye creams, if they're too thick, they kind of pill up once you apply your concealer. But this one is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't irritate my under eye whatsoever. I really like it. And then the price point for In Beauty is very reasonable and fair for the quality ingredients. So definitely recommend this eye cream. I typically don't purchase Paula's Choice items during the Sephora sale, especially in spring, because they have so many great deals on their website, and also they have amazing sets that do come out during the holidays that I like to pick up during the Sephora sale. But I did still want to include some Paula's Choice favorites that I've been loving, and it is their Boost Pro Collagen lineup. So I have been using the Pro Collagen Multi-Peptide Booster ever since it launched. I want to say maybe 2 years ago. At the very least, it was around last year because I've included this in a video before. But then they recently launched their Pro Collagen Peptide Plumping Moisturizer. And this is a really beautiful gel-based, I think, daytime moisturizer. It wears really nicely under makeup. For me, it's not quite like thick enough for the evening. I mean, they say on here that it is PM, but for me, I don't know, I like something even thicker in the evening, but this is a really nice daytime moisturizer. I also wanted to mention, I should have said this earlier in the video, but I will have a playlist link down below with my Sephora recommendations from previous year's sales because I had to make some cuts. So there are plenty of things I love and recommend that aren't going to make it into the video. Another moisturizer that I have been loving is from Alpine Beauty, Alpine, and this is their Barrier Repair Super Peptides and Ghostberry Barrier Repair Cream. I love this. It is fragrance free, and it applies beautifully. I love wearing this at night. Just really like coats your skin and it feels hydrated all night and you feel very refreshed in the morning. Another moisturizer that I can't find right now, I just used it last night, but I don't know where I put it, is the I think it's the Angel Skin. I will have a photo of it on my screen. Oh, this moisturizer is incredible. First off, I love the packaging. I love that it comes in a tube. It is just so much more A, user-friendly, and B, like sanitary, that's the word. When it comes in the squeezy tube, that is just the most reliable moisturizer. I can easily travel with it, throw it in my bag because it comes in a like smaller component. The formula is great. It's of course fragrance free, and similar to the Alpine one, my skin in the morning, like to the touch, it still feels hydrated and almost like tacky, but in the best way. So absolutely love that. And I would say, so I absolutely love that. Similar to the Alpine moisturizer, the Dew one, when you wake up, your skin still feels really hydrated, like almost to the touch, like a little tacky, but in the best way. For SPF, there are a lot of SPFs that I love out there, but two that I really love at Sephora. Okay, first up, we have the In Beauty Project Mineral Sun Glow in Fair Medium. I have used up yet another tube of this. I love this product. I've talked about it before. If you find that the glow screen from Supergoop is like too tinny on your skin, but you still like a glow in your SPF with a little bit of tint, this is for you. You are going to love it. Another SPF product that I was kind of late to the game on, it launched last year, but beautiful, is the Supergoop Protect Tint Daily SPF Tint, and this has an SPF of 50. The shade I've been wearing lately is 10N. However, with any of these like sunscreen tints, you don't have to have an exact match because it's a formula that's not going to be overly pigmented. So it's fine if you kind of guess on it or if it's not perfect. This one does work well for me. I also really like how buildable this is. When you can apply one layer and just get like a nice little sheen, but of course to ensure you're getting the proper sun protection, you want to apply multiple layers, 2 layers at the very least. And I like that this one, you really can build up the product, and as you add more product, the coverage does increase, just like it would with a foundation. Let's talk hair. I don't talk like hair products a lot on this channel, but I do have a few that I am absolutely in love with. The first one is one I recommended before. It is the best dry shampoo on planet Earth. It is the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. This stuff is truly incredible. For a while, I was ride or die for the Living Proof, the Living Proof like professional air dry shampoo. I'm forgetting the name, but this, nothing compares to this. It is interesting. It is a wet formula. You have to shake it and then it applies wet, and I don't know how this works, but it is magical. It is very expensive, but it is worth every penny, especially if you are someone like me who colors their hair and you don't want to be washing your hair super frequently. Well, in general, it dries out your hair, but you don't want to be washing it as frequently when you have colored hair because the dye doesn't last as long, and this has just been such a lifesaver. They also recently launched travel size, which, thank goodness, I've been doing a lot of traveling for work, so I will be picking up another one of the travel sizes and probably another one of the full sizes of this, because this is a product where the second it runs out, I'm going to need another one because I cannot use any other dry shampoos anymore because this one is just that good. A very bougie hair product that I picked up during the last Sephora sale, and it's often out of stock, so I don't even know if it's in stock right now, but it is one that it is worth every penny, and it is the Oribe Paddle Brush. Now, I kind of went down like a hair journey in the winter when I discovered Abby Young here on YouTube. She does a lot of really great hair videos, and I was like, you know what? For the heck of it, I want to like do a little research on what hairbrush I should be using to prevent damage and breakage. And she did an extensive video and she recommended this one. It is pricey, you guys. It's like $100 before the 20% off. But she, if I recall correctly, said it's as good as, what's that one? Like that Mason, that one brand where they're like $300 or $400. This I purchased in winter and I do not regret it. I don't use any other hairbrush. I believe it has like 4 bristles. I'm not positive. You can click through and read the description, but it is amazing and you definitely don't want to pay full price for it. A hair tool that I picked up during the Sephora sale in the fall that I have used pretty much every single day since is the Sharp Flex. Now, this is similar to the Dyson Airwrap. I also own the Dyson Airwrap. It has, you know, different attachments that you add on. But the thing I love about this is that it also is a hair dryer. I mentioned that I've been traveling a lot for work, and like, I don't know what is going on with the state of the world, but the hotel quality has just really gone downhill. Like, they barely provide you any amenities in a lot of hotels, and the hair dryers are terrible. So I love with this, when I'm traveling, I can just throw this in my bag with the attachments that I'll want without having to also pack a separate good miniature hair dryer. I also find that as far as the like quality of the volume and curl, I don't notice a difference between the Dyson and this. Like, I really don't. I still really like my Dyson Airwrap, but if you're debating between the two, I think you should get the Sharp Flex because it has interesting attachments. The quality of this blow dryer is amazing, and it's just really convenient for travel. Another Abby Young recommendation, this is the Way Detox Shampoo. I purchased the small size first, but I will be purchasing the full size. I love this shampoo for once a week, especially because I use so much dry shampoo and product in my hair. It does a great job of really cleaning the hair without stripping it. So I recommend this, especially if you're someone who uses a lot of product in your hair. Another Abby Young recommendation is from Pureology, and this is the Color Fanatic 21, and this is a multitasking leave-in spray. I really like this because it has it all. It detangles, it protects your hair from heat, it protects colored hair, dyed hair. It's just amazing. I'm almost done with this bottle. It was on sale during 21 Days of Beauty, so I did pick up an extra, but if you did not pick it up in 21 Days of Beauty and you are in need of a good multitasking hair product, I recommend picking it up during the Sephora sale. I don't have a ton of body products to recommend, but one set that I picked up last weekend in a pinch, it's just so great. It's so great. It is also from Way, and this is the Wanna Get Away travel kit. When I was at Sephora, I picked up this little set, and it has one of my favorite fragrances in a body lotion. It is from Way, and it was originally limited edition, but now I think they realize we're obsessed with it, and it is the St. Bart's scent. So this is, oh my god, St. Bart's body cream. Oh my gosh. I'm normally not really into like tropical scents, but this is just next level. I don't even know what the notes are, but it is just everything you want a tropical vacation to smell like is what this smells like. And this little set comes with body cleanser, and then it also comes with the little hair and body mist. So this was a great little set, and I recommend checking this one out. Before we move into makeup, I did want to touch on a product that's kind of like hybrid makeup skincare. Also picked this up on a whim last week. So glad I did, because I've been using it every day since. And this is the Kosas Cloud Set Airy Setting and Smoothing Mist. Finally, a setting spray that does not contain alcohol and does not contain fragrance. Thank you, Kosas, for doing what, for some reason, no other brand has done before. This is amazing. I love it. You just shake it up. Has the most beautiful fine mist. It does not irritate my skin. It does not dry out my skin because it does not contain alcohol. It is fragrance free. Ingredients, we don't have time to go through all the ingredients, but my skin really likes it. It does a great job of just your makeup. I don't know how else to describe it, but once you apply your foundation, your powder, or even just your foundation and your blush, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, oh, it's just like looks a little cakey. Like there's just something a little off. Spritz with this and you will be good to go. Let's chat complexion. I am currently wearing a recommendation, and it is the Lawless Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. I really like this foundation. I'm wearing it today. I wore it yesterday as well. It wears really beautifully. My skin hates so many foundations. My skin really likes this one. The one thing I will say is the shade range is really weird. I picked up the second lightest shade called 2F, and this is like my summer shade. Like my neck does not match my face. This shade range is really funky. It also, I picked up, this one was supposed to be a neutral, fair neutral shade, and I found it to be very warm. So for this one, I would recommend going in store. And to be honest, your shade might not be perfect, but the formula is that good that I'm kind of like, I'm willing to just go with it because I really like the formula. But I do really like this. Check it out. It's a good one. Next recommendation. I don't know where the one I'm currently using is, but I always have a backup of this because I pick it up during every sale because I can't live without it. It is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I am the shade 2. I did recently pick up shade 1.5 because I was kind of curious because 2 is like a little dark for me in my palest months. But you've heard me talk about this foundation before. It's amazing. It's a skin tint. It is so buildable, so beautiful, wears beautifully on my dry skin, does not cake up, does not look like you are wearing any makeup. This stuff is magical. Let's talk blushes. I'm going to focus on, for the most part, try to focus on blushes that are like newer releases because you can watch my previous Sephora sale videos for blush recommendations that have like been in circulation for a while now. But one of my top recommendations, it has to be the YSL Make Me Blush Powder Blushes. And you guys, they finally have shade 6, which I'm forgetting the exact name, maybe it's like Rose Haze. They finally have the beautiful peachy nude shade in stock at Sephora. For some reason, they were torturing us and they only had it released in the UK and Japan. But I like to think that my campaign of telling everyone to go email them and bug them on Instagram worked, because they now carry it. And this is the blush I'm wearing today. The shade is beautiful. I will go ahead and swatch it for you here. It's just a very beautiful, subtle, peachy nude. I do have a video where I swatched every single shade that was available in the US on my face, so I will have that linked somewhere on the screen if you would like to see all of those shades. Another blush I want to talk about is from a brand that I've never been able to speak about during a Sephora sale video because they were not on Sephora till very recently, and that is Violet FR. I have been a fan of this French brand for years, ever since they first launched on their site. I picked up one of their like eye paints and then their like Boom Boom spray. Mine since expired, so I don't have that. But anyways, they have these beautiful Bisou blushes, which are matte cream blushes. This is the shade Louise, and they have several shades now. And this is a very pretty, kind of similar to that YSL shade, just like your cheeks but better. The formula is really beautiful. It does dry down matte. They last very long. And again, I'm a sucker for pretty packaging. Continuing on the blush train, another new release that I really have been loving are the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blushes. Again, I did a whole video of them. You'll find it if you go to my channel and look at all my videos. And they originally launched with just 4 shades and then they disappeared, and now they're back with all, I believe, 7 shades. I really like all of the shades that I tried, but I think Hope is probably one of my most used shades because it's similar to those like everyday pinky nude blushes. So I really love this formula from Rare Beauty. Another new launch that I really love is the Tower 28 blushes. My favorite shade, I do have all of them, is Samo Spritzer. Again, you can tell what shade of blushes I like. I like a kind of barely there, but with like a little mauve or a little tawniness to them blush. And this formula, again, I have a whole video on them, but I really like them because they are truly blurring. I know that some people commented that when they swatched them, they looked chalky, but you have to keep in mind swatching something on your arm is not how it's going to translate on your face. And these blended beautifully on me. I really like them, and I think the price point is very fair. 2 more blushes. Okay, next one, another new release. This is from Say, and these are their Super Suede blushes. I do think they really kind of cheaped out on their packaging, and I don't love the packaging, but the quality of the product is beautiful. If I had to recommend just one shade, that's tough, but I'd probably go with Amour, which is this one here. And it's a really beautiful but wearable, fun, bright pink for summer. A blush formula that is not new, but it's one that I love so much, and they've come out with, I'm gonna say maybe 5 new shades since I last reviewed the product. And these are the Huda Blush Filter liquid blushes. I love this formula. I also love the packaging. This is the shade Ube, which they said it was limited edition. Who knows if it actually is. But this is a really beautiful like lavender baby pink. They recently just came out with a few more shades as well. I will be picking up a couple more of those shades during the sale because they're perfect for spring and summer. But this is a great liquid blush, especially for beginners or people who are afraid of liquid blush. If the Rare Beauty liquid blushes scare you, these will not. These are very buildable, very blendable. Also, the applicator really lends itself to applying just a little dab, and it makes it very easy to apply without overdoing it. Let's talk bronzer. There are like so many bronzer new releases. It's hard to keep track, but 3 that are on the newer side, or at least these like shades are newer, that I've been loving are, first up, from Liss or LYS Beauty. This is their No Limits Cream Bronzer, and this is a shade that came out, I want to say over the summer. It's a new light shade called No Limits, and I love this shade. It doesn't pull orangey on me. It is a true neutral bronzer. It just glides on the skin beautifully. It dries down beautifully, doesn't leave your skin sticky. This is beautiful. And again, this is the shade No Limits. A product that is on the newer side that I've been loving is from Too Faced, and this is their Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick in the shade Chocolate Mousse. They have since released an even lighter shade that I will be picking up during the sale. This one definitely works for me, but I would be curious to try the lighter shade. And it is just such a beautiful, creamy cream bronzer that blends beautifully. This one has like a really nice kind of like shadowing effect almost. Like for me, I could also use this as contour, and it also smells like chocolate. So I know I typically don't like products that are scented, but if it's scented like food, I actually don't really mind it, as long as it's not skincare. Another bronzer slash contour product that I love that I don't know where I put it is the Rare Beauty Liquid Contour. I have the lightest shade. I will have that specific shade in the description down below, but I really like this. I know there was like some debate from people online about whether or not they're actually contours or if they're bronzers. For me, the lightest shade wore really beautifully as a contour, and I really like it, and it blends beautifully. For highlighters, I feel like there haven't been like a lot of highlighters from Sephora over the past year that have launched that I've really like fallen in love with. I really can't think of any except for these guys. These are the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. Now these are highlighters, but depending on the shade you get, you can use them as a liquid bronzer. You could use them as a blush topper. They are beautiful. I have a bunch of different shades. Hard for me to pick a favorite, but I would say probably pink or nude are like my top two, but they are very beautiful. Doe foot applicator. Oh, they're just magical. Like they really are. They blend really nicely as well, so you don't get that like weird streak that you sometimes get with a liquid highlighter. These are worth the pretty penny. Let's talk powder. I'm still in the middle of testing a ton of pink powders before I do a pink powder roundup, because I really wanted to like formulate my thoughts. But I do have a couple powders that I want to recommend. The first is from Lawless. Now this is the Lawless Perfecting Powder Skin Smoothing Talc-Free Powder. Now this is the shade Fair, but I also really like the shade Tutu, which is their newer shade, and it's a pinky tone. I think it's still my makeup bag from when I was at the wedding last week, so I don't have it in front of me. But I really like this formula. It works well on my dry skin. It doesn't cake up, provides like a decent amount of coverage, and it's a really beautiful powder. One of the pink powders I've really been loving is the Kosas. So this one, first off, I like the way the powder comes with the little lid so it doesn't get everywhere. Of course, right now I'm unable to open it, but it is a nice finely milled pink powder. The effect is very similar to their baked under eye powder, which is probably one of my favorite under eye powders of all time, but the pink one is nice. It gives you just a little bit of brightening on the under eyes without overdoing it. And this is the shade Translucent Candy. Let's talk eyeshadow. One of my favorite liquid shadows is from Violette FR, and these are the U Paints. Again, I've been wearing these for years. They come in both matte and shimmer. I really like both of the formulas. I personally think though, like their matte formula is really the standout, because I think liquid matte eyeshadows are hard to formulate well, and these are formulated beautifully. They don't cake up on the eyes. I find that happens a lot, especially with like crappy formulas. They don't cake up. They blend really beautifully. They have a lot of beautiful colors. This one is probably my most worn. This is Tundra Coral, I believe it's called. Yes. And it's just a really pretty. And like, look how far that color blends. Like, look at that. I obviously did not need to apply that much. That just shows you like how far it blends, how well it blends out, and it dries down like almost into like a powdery formula, I want to say. So these are really, really beautiful. I'm going to try to resist getting more shades because I'm going to hold out for winter because I'm hoping they'll do like some fun kits. But if you've not tried this formula, these are beautiful. And again, the sparkly ones are also very pretty as well. Now, I did recently talk about the new Natasha Denona Bloom palette, and I do really like it. I really love Natasha Denona's formulations. However, keep in mind that Natasha Denona will often do 30% off sales on her website. So I'm not including those in my recommendations video only because I think you can hold off and get a better deal. But a brand that you're not going to get a better deal on, except during the Sephora sale, is Prada. I have two of the Prada Dimensions eyeshadow palettes. I have one that's a limited edition holiday one, and then this one, which is so fun. And this formulation is so beautiful. To date, the color stories have been really fun and like have a pop. However, they did just release 3 new shades that are much more wearable. I think they're like Peony, Primula, and one other one. Those are much more wearable for everyday. I will be picking up probably one of those during the sale because the formula is so beautiful. I also love the layout of them, how you get one shade here that's more of like the accent, and then those 3 other shades. And I mean, like, you guys, this silver is the most beautiful silver of all time. Like, look at that. Look at that. I mean, this palette is worth that silver alone, in my opinion. A single shadow formulation I want to recommend is from Sephora collection. These are the Sephora collection colorful shadows. Now, they did just like rename them. So whereas these were previously Metal Effect, they are now called Glitter. The Glitter Effect. So these will be 30% off, and the formulation of the glitter ones are so beautiful. This is the shade Fantasia. Mine like broke and I had to mush it back together. That's why it looks very different than the images on Sephora, but this is such a beautiful shade. It's actually what I'm wearing on my lids today. I have nothing else on except for this shadow. These are beautiful, like one and done shades. Look at that. This is the shade, again, Fantasia, but I also really like, I think it's called Twinkle. I'll have the other shades that I like listed down below, but I do really recommend these. Are great full price, but for 30% off, you cannot go wrong. My hair is just looking progressively crazier as the video goes on. I have 2 more eyeshadow palette recommendations for you. I recommend this in every Sephora video because this is the best matte eyeshadow palette of all time. It is the best, the absolute best. It is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes. I have both the cool tone and the warm tone one. This is just the original one. I love it. I love it. This formula is incredible. They blend beautifully. They are so mistake proof. Like whenever I do my eyes with this palette, it looks like I actually kind of know how to do eyeshadow. So you really can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. This is like a makeup staple in my opinion. Now, I felt like picking up the new Charlotte Tilbury palettes. Okay, I picked them up. I know there was a lot of like huffing and puffing on the internet, people getting mad about the packaging. I didn't really understand why, considering Dior has their 9-pan palettes also with clear packaging. But the clear packaging really upset people on this. Like, I kind of get it, but also I feel like these were $60, whereas for 9 shadows from a luxury brand, they'll try to charge you $80 or even $100. I mean, heck, the Prada ones are 5 of them, and they charge you, I believe, $85. But nonetheless, I picked up the new Charlotte Tilbury palettes, and I really like them. I think the formula is nice. This one is Sensual Sunset, and these like crystal shades are just so beautiful. They're beautiful alone. They're beautiful as toppers. I really like these, and I do think with the 20% off, if I can do math correctly, brings them down to $48, which I think for 9 shadows from Charlotte Tilbury in her very high quality, good quality formula, it is a fair price. Now I get it, yeah, $60 with the plastic cover, probably not for a normal consumer and not someone who's crazy like me, but I think $48, I would recommend picking one of these up, and they have great color stories. They don't have all of the ones on Sephora, but they do have this one, which is why I particularly wanted to bring up Sensual Sunset. For mascara, I have a lot of mascaras that I like, and I'll talk about a couple of them. But personally for me, like I try to purchase my mascaras during like Ulta 21 Days of Beauty or on like National Mascara Day. I don't remember when that is, but Sephora and Ulta do tons of mascaras for half off. I also really try to optimize my purchases during the fall Sephora sale, where they'll often do like big kits that will have a bunch of products, and they usually include like a full size like Tower 28 mascara, for example. But I did grab 2 mascaras that I have really been liking. One of them is Tried But True. I've used this for years, and this is one that I always buy when it's half off during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and it is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This is just a beautiful mascara that really builds and coats the lashes. Another mascara that I really like, the brand did send this to me and I was surprised by how much I loved it. It is the Armani Vertigo mascara, and I really like how flexible and bendy the wand is, and it does a good job of really letting you like get in there. I'm already wearing the Monsieur Big on my upper lash, but let me try to apply some on my lower lash. I'm doing this without a mirror, so this could prove to be disastrous. Okay, I think I got some. Well, you get the point. The size of this makes it easy to apply to the lower lashes as well, and the flexible wand really does mean you can like get in there and like make sure you're really getting those inner lashes, those outer lashes, and it's very buildable without it like caking up and flaking. Find that for some mascaras, if you're like not careful, you can look like spider lashes. Brows, I've been switching between the Verse brow product that I raved about and then just Boy Brow. I'm wearing Boy Brow today. I love Glossier Boy Brow. I don't have it in front of me, and you know what Boy Brow is. It's not worth me like going on an adventure to find it, but Boy Brow, it's amazing. Highly recommend it. Another brow product that I love, also not in front of me, is the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. That is the best brow gel I've ever used in my life. It keeps your brows in a certain position all day without caking up or turning white. Some of these brow gels will do that. The Rare Beauty one does not. Time for lips. Time for lip products. This one was hard to narrow down, but again, focusing on products that like are on the newer side that I've just been loving. One lip liner to talk about that I've been loving. It did launch last holiday season, I believe, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair. It is the shade, oh gosh, I think I have like hair on my face, that I'm wearing today. And of course, Pillow Talk is the famous like shade that looks perfect on everyone. Well, they did release a Pillow Talk Fair, I think a Pillow Talk Medium and a Pillow Talk Deep. This is Pillow Talk Fair. And it is just the most beautiful, beautiful shade. They also have a really good little kit right now where you can get 3 different shades of Charlotte Tilbury lip liners. And there's also a kit I'll have linked below where it's the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner and the Pillow Talk Fair lipstick. Another Charlotte Tilbury lip product that I have been loving is the Pillow Talk Big Lip Plump Gasm. These names, I swear. It is their plumping gloss in the shade Pillow Talk Fair Medium. And oh my gosh, this gloss. First off, it smells incredible. It is so beautiful. It is plumping, so it's gonna tingle, it's gonna sting. It's not gonna like burn your lips off though. But this gloss is so pretty. I love this. It's so pigmented. I just can't say enough good things about it. Another lip product discovery from this past year is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Remember them? This is the Lip Velvet. Oh, these are so beautiful, especially this shade. So this is the shade Pomegranate. So it is like a lip mousse. It is not going to dry your lips out. It's also going to be extremely blurring. Look at that. They have recently expanded the shade range. They have quite a few shades now, but this one is the favorite one that I have tried. And again, this is Pomegranate. And another thing I really love about this formula is you can really build up the pigmentation level. So if I wanted to wear this as more of like a spring summer color, I could stop there. If I wanted to, I could apply more and not blend it out as much. And you'll see here, it's more of that like true deep pomegranate shade. The first lip product I want to talk about is from Makeup by Mario, and this is the Super Shine Lip Gloss. This is the shade Midnight Mauve. Love this formula. It smells like kind of vanilla-y. These are really beautiful. They just have like a nice pigmentation level where it's still kind of sheer. It's not like a cream pigmentation like the Charlotte Tilbury one, but they're very comfortable. They're very beautiful. And I particularly really love this shade. This is the only one I've tried though of the shades. Another gloss that I really like is from Sephora collection. This is their new Sephora, there's called Gloss. The packaging is obviously very similar to Tower 28. These ones do not have a scent. And these are extremely, extremely pigmented. This is the shade Busy, and you can really see the pigmentation level difference there. The first balm I want to talk about is from Edam. I love these. These are the Le Chow Chow Lip Softening Balms. These were pretty popular and sold out for a while. I really love this formula. This is a very pigmented balm. This is the shade Bessop Glaze. Very, very beautiful. I like hate to bring this one up because I like to be a curmudgeon. I feel like a lot of things that go viral are not worthwhile. These are. This is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. These are just so comfortable. They smell so good. They're so pigmented. They're so beautiful. All the shades are great. This is the shade, oh, it's right there, Iced Coffee. So to give you like a pigmentation comparison, this is Iced Coffee here. So here we have Iced Coffee from Summer Fridays, and then here we have Bessop Glaze from Edam. One thing I do want to mention about the Edam ones, kind of backing up, is for some of the darker pigmented ones, the more you stray away from your original lip color, the more it is going to emphasize lines. So keep that in mind. For me, I'm like, I don't really care that much because I do a lot of like work on like Zoom calls, for example. But if that drives you crazy when you're picking your shade, pick one that is not going to be as much of a contrast to avoid the lip line emphasis. So I did want to caution you on that. However, for Summer Fridays, like it doesn't matter what shade you get. Like all of the shades are going to look beautiful. Two more balms that I want to talk about are ones that have SPF. Two that I really love. Okay, the first one is from In Beauty Project. This is the Sun Balm SPF 30. They have a few different shades. This is the shade Pink. They also don't taste gross. I've tried some SPF lip products that if they get in your mouth, ugh, they're just so disgusting. This one does not. These are very beautiful. And then another one that I love is from K-Skin, and these are also SPF 30, and this is the shade Nude Ting. They have several different colors, and I would say like from a formula standpoint, I don't know, like these ones from K-Skin remind me a little bit more of Summer Fridays. The last lip product I want to talk about is from Violette FR, and they are the Bisou Balms. Now, there are two different formulations. There's the Bisou Jelly and the Bisou Balm. I'll talk about the difference. The Bisou Balm is a sheer matte lipstick. This is such a beautiful blurring lip formula. It is so unique. It is something like you have to experience. It's the most beautiful, like, sheer wash of color on the lips. You can really build up the pigmentation level. This is the shade Bon Bon Myrtle, and these are gorgeous. They recently came out with even more shades, and those are also available at Sephora. I love these. Now, they also have a jelly formula, and this is a sheer lip shine. I also like these. However, I think the formula of the Bisou Balm is much more unique. I promise we're almost done. We are going to talk fragrance. Specifically focusing on fragrances that I've been loving and that I love during the spring and summer. First recommendation is one that, like, it's really year-round, but this is the Fleur Heavy Cream Body Mist. This one is a gourmand, but it's like a lighter gourmand, so it works year-round. Probably more of a fall-winter scent, but this is so good. This is so good. You need it. You need it. Another scent that I love is from the brand Dead Cool. One second, I'm gonna sneeze. And this is their layering fragrance called Milk. So the concept of a layering fragrance is you layer it with other fragrances, which I think that's kind of fun. You can, like, mix and match. This one is a really nice light fragrance. I also get lazy, so I'm not, like, mixing them all the time. But Milk is really interesting. I will put the notes on the screen because I cannot describe fragrances for the life of me. But this is very beautiful. They also have an Extra Milk. So that one is not as much of a layering fragrance. I don't have that one, so I can't speak to it, but my understanding is that one is more of a standalone. And they recently came out with Mochi, which I'm dying to try. And that one, everyone is raving about it, like already sold out on Sephora. But yeah, Dead Cool makes really great fragrances, and this is a really nice year-round scent. Another fragrance that is my go-to for spring and summer, and I don't know where it is right now, it's probably in a purse, but it is In the Garden. It's In the Garden by Replica. It is tomato. I know that sounds weird, but it smells magical. It smells magical. It is tomato, and then some other notes that I will put on the screen. It is the perfect summer scent. I still have 2 more fragrances. I've, like, really fallen in love with fragrance the past couple of years. The next one is one I've spoken about before. It is so magical. It is Windows Down by Henry Rose. I will put the notes on the screen. It is the most unique fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. It is truly what I think of when I think of, like, windows down, driving by beautiful scenery. It smells so good. It smells so good. This is probably my favorite perfume of all time. Last fragrance is one that I've been wearing a lot lately, and I've been getting so many compliments, and the longevity is amazing. It is another Fleur fragrance, and it is Strawberry Letter. Oh, this one, it's, like, on the sweeter side, which I normally don't go for super sweet perfumes. I'll put the notes on the screen, but it's not overly sweet, but it's still sweet. It's very approachable. It's also a fragrance that I will be wearing year-round because it still has, like, those cozy notes that will be nice in the fall and winter, but then the strawberry makes it great for spring and summer. Hi, Future Eva here. I was just editing the video and I realized I forgot some very important recommendations. So I'm going to clip this in somewhere, I don't know where, because these need to be talked about. The concealer I wanted to talk about in today's video, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know where I put it, but I've been using it a lot. It is the Kulfi concealer. I will pop it up on the screen here. I really like this concealer because I feel like it has good, like, color correcting undertones in it. Do keep in mind that the shade range does run dark, so the lightest shade in the concealer is the one I wear. If you are fairer than me, then I think it's gonna be difficult for you to find a shade that will work, but they may extend the shade range in the future. A complexion product that I cannot believe I forgot to talk about is the Milk Makeup Grip Gel Tint. I used this in a, like, get ready with me using new makeup video recently, and I've used it several times since, and I love this. I am the shade 2. It's a pretty good match for me. It's a very true, like, fair neutral, and this wears beautifully. It has the right amount of coverage. It's fuller coverage than other skin tints. It's the same amount of coverage as Danessa Myricks one, so it's going to be way more than like the Hourglass skin tint. And it's a great formula if you have dry skin. It has really great longevity. And yeah, this is a new launch I am excited about. Another lip product that I can't believe I forgot to talk about because I love them so much are the Jisoo, I call it Jisoo, maybe it's Gisoo, I'm not sure, lip oils. These like relaunched in like a new formulation in different shades in the wintertime. I picked these up during the sale last fall and I love them so much. I'm wearing the shade, oh my gosh, what is the shade? Because it's too tiny of a print, but it's the really pretty pink sparkly one. And the quality of the packaging, the formula is great too, you guys, don't get me wrong, the formula is great, but the packaging is just so fun. I love the fun shape. It's also glass. I also really like the applicator as well. And they're really hydrating and they have even more new shades. I'm kind of tempted to pick up one more shade, but I probably should stop. But yep, these are really beautiful and I highly recommend them. The last no-brainer that I can't believe I forgot to mention are the Sephora collection brushes. So Sephora collection has an amazing line of brushes and they are the ones that are the pro brushes. I can't speak to the ones that do not say pro on them. I have felt those in store and they do seem a little cheap, but any of them that are the pro brushes are amazing quality. I've never tried one that I didn't like. I really like this one. This is the 56 foundation. They also have a really great concealer brush. The eye brushes are great. I have almost all of them. I just don't have them in front of me. And again, you'll be getting them for 30% off. These are probably some of my most reached for brushes. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I helped you kind of narrow down or widen your list. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe, follow me on Instagram. And if you do decide to shop any of my recommendations, I would appreciate if you consider shopping through any of my Sephora or Shop My links linked down below. I do earn a small commission and it does help support this tiny channel. Thank you so much. Happy shopping and let me know in the comments what you are eyeing and what you're planning on picking up.